If you're a human and watch YouTube, you've probably seen the videos where celebrities answer the web's most searched questions about themselves. I thought this was such a fun concept, so I thought, why not do it, but in regard with IB? So I went on the web, searched up the most asked questions about IB, wrote them on huge pieces of white paper, and I'll be answering them for you in this video. So stay tuned if you're excited to see these questions answered, and let's get on to it. What? I don't know how I'm gonna hold this. Here we go. Does the IB program give college credit? Yes, it does. But, there's a big but here. They only give college credit for your higher level courses, and you have to have had at least a 5 in them. I'm gonna read this backwards. Help get into college? So it really depends. In Canada, it doesn't help a lot because the schools don't really care about it. It won't give you a major advantage. They'll just look at your IB levels converted into percentages. Of course, you can write about them in your supplementary essays, but that's not to say that other people don't have anything to write about. I know in the US, it's really helpful just because it gives you an edge. US colleges really look to see if you have taken the most competitive program at your school. So that would really benefit you if you are in the US or planning to go to the US, but in Canada, not so much. Out of all the universities I did apply to, I think the majority of all my schools didn't even ask for my IB levels. They might quickly look over your IB levels, but they won't be seeing that and being like, we have to admit her, she's better than other applicants because of this. Does the IB program help with uni/college? I would say yes, kind of. For my personal experience, after doing a semester of university, I found that it does help in terms of time management, critical thinking, etc. You know, the transition from high school to university was a lot smoother, but the content itself is not necessarily easier. Yes, you may have covered a bit in high school, but you still won't go as in depth as you go in university. You also have to keep in mind that the test taking style is very different in university, where it's mostly multiple choice exams, and IB doesn't have a prominent focus on that, so it doesn't prepare you that well for those MCQ tests. How does the IB program work? Okay, that's a very good question because I came into the program and I didn't know how it worked. Basically what it is you pick a set number of courses. You have to complete 6 IB subjects, 1 from each subject group, and you have to take a minimum of 3 HL courses, but no more than 4. So HL courses are higher level courses. These would include some university concepts, and then you have your SL courses, which stand for standard level. You learn about them, you do tests, you do IB assessments, and then at the end, you do an IB worldwide exam. Also have to do 3 other things as part of the program. One is the extended essay, another is CAS, which stands for creativity, activity, and service, and the third thing is theory of knowledge, which is a useless course. Just kidding. So theory of knowledge is focusing on the areas of knowing and the ways of knowing, and your cumulative mark in this course depends on a presentation and an essay. Each course you take, you get scored on a scale from 1 to 7. 1 being the worst and 7 being the best. Roughly converting that to percentages, a 7 would be 97 to 100%-ish. A 6 would be 92 to 96%-ish. Also, for each subject, you have to do something called an IA, which is called an internal assessment, and that covers 20% of your final grade. The internal assessment is marked by your teacher, and then it's moderated by an IB examiner outside. Internal assessment can consist of any of these things depending on the subject. It will be on a topic of your own choosing, and you'll be marked on a set of criteria. For example, for math, you're marked on communication, mathematical presentation, personal engagement, reflection, and use of mathematics. Okay, hold on. My phone is at 10% and it's about to die. Okay, Okay, I'm back. The next question, how does the IB program benefit you? I know a lot of people say it's a super tough program, it's really hard, but there are some benefits. One of the benefits is that you do get college credit or university credit. You develop great skills such as research skills, essay writing skills, time management, organizational skills. What other skills? A lot of different skills. You learn how to balance your extracurriculars with your schoolwork. Also, you gain critical thinking skills and and you're more prepared for college or university. Are those all the questions here? Why is this video so chaotic? Oh my god. How questions? So I'll just show you all of them. So how hard is the IB program? Obviously this is subjective, but I love how that question just like it automatically assumes that IB program is already hard. It's not how hard or easy is the IB program, automatically just how hard. Personally, for me, on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being easy peasy, 10 being
superbly hard, I want to die now,
I would give it like an 8.75. Yeah. Is that like a reasonable score? Okay, next question. How much does the IB program cost? Good question. Because even though it's called a non-profit organization, I'll tell you a little secret, it's not free, which you would assume a non-profit organization is, right? So as kind of a baseline, you have to pay $160 for the diploma registration fee, as well as $110 for each exam as the exam fee. So if you are taking 6 subjects, then you would have to be paying $660. Also, it varies depending on your school. So for our school, we had to pay $3,000 in total. And this also was for the maintenance of the program in our school, textbooks, resources, lab equipment, and things like that. Okay, but I feel like even after we paid that money, our lab equipment still sucked. But anyways, how long is the IB program? The IB program is 2 years, and the actual IB program starts in junior year, continues on into senior year. Next question, how to join the IB program? So first go to your nearest high school and see if they offer the program. In Ontario, you have to take an entrance test to even just get into the program. It's not something you can just sign up for. So that's also something that you might have to do. In Ontario, even if your local nearest high school doesn't offer the program, you are still able to attend the program. You would just have to take the entrance exam at your next closest school that offers IB, and then you would be attending that school. So that's what happened for me. My nearest high school was maybe a 10-minute walk, but my nearest school that offered IB was a 30-minute drive. So yeah, sacrifices might have to be made if you want to do IB. We're done this, so let's throw it away. Next is the is questions. Is the IB program worth it? I'm going to be actually making a whole video just answering that question. The next question is the IB program harder than AP? Personally, I haven't done any AP stuff, but my friends who have done both IB and AP say AP is a tad easier, and I've heard from online sources say AP is also a tad easier, but also because IB is more like a program, while AP is you sign up for individual courses by themselves. It's not like a program with additional requirements outside of the classes/courses. Is the IB program free? I think I answered this already. It is not free because you have to pay those random fees. Is the IB program difficult? Again, this is hard to answer because it really depends. I would say the majority of students do say it's difficult, but once you persevere through it, it's like the best feeling ever. It's also very difficult if you go in not knowing what to expect. Like I went in not knowing I had to do a second language course for 4 years, so I went in kind of blind, and I really regret that because I feel like if I had known beforehand what the program fully consisted of, I would have prepared myself better or reevaluated my decision. IB program better than AP or A-levels? I would say it's not one that is better than the other. It depends on which one you think best suits your personality, your way of learning, because there are 3 very different programs with different requirements. So what you should do is do research into all 3 and see which one, resonates with you the most. If you're going into a school and they offer all 3, you want to probably see which one is more popular, because that one probably has better teachers, better resources. Next I have where. So where is the IB program from? Switzerland. Where did the IB program start? Switzerland? Yeah. Which countries have the IB program? I know it's offered in a lot of countries because it is an international program. Okay, so it's actually offered in 147 countries. That's a lot. It's definitely offered in Australia, Canada, the US, India, Hong Kong, and the UK. Next question. Oh wait, we're done. We're done. Okay. Okay, so next board, which is my what questions. So the first one is, what is the IB program in high school? Your final mark will be based on a number out of 45. So you have 6 subjects. Each subject, the maximum you can get is a 7. So 7 times 6 equals 42. And then you have 3 extra points depending on the grade you get for your TOK and then the grade you get for your EE. What is the IB program in Ontario? It's the same thing as it would be in any other state, province, or country. I would just say in Ontario, the application process for the actual program is different. The requirements, the courses, should be the same. What is the IB program like? If we're just talking about junior and senior year, I would say it's very busy in terms of all the assessments and things you have to do, but it's also manageable if you know how to manage your time and you know how to split up your work well. It's fulfilling at the end. You feel proud of yourself for making it through. You are going to be overwhelmed as you have to prepare for these huge exams at the end that are 80% of your overall mark, especially if you're at a new school that just started the program. Your teachers might not even know what the IAs are, what to do, how to help you. That can be a bit of a struggle. So what is the IB in middle school? There's a middle school program they offer too, but it's not as popular. The middle one is kind of set to prepare you for high school. It's called the middle years program. I'm sorry I can't really answer that question because I don't really know much about it, but you do have 8 main subject groups. What is the point of the IB program? So I guess the main point would be that you get worldwide recognized diploma that you can use. Another main point of it is probably to introduce a program that is different from your normal academic program at school, so one that challenges you differently and that provides a broader international perspective into your learning. Okay, what does IB stand for? Okay, next is, what does the IB program teach? I feel like I already kind of touched on this. It teaches you critical thinking skills, research skills, analytical skills. You learn how to apply it to the real world. You have to know how to come up with your own research questions. You have to know how to manage your time. So it really develops you as an adult too, who has to know how to take initiative to do what, when, on your own time, instead of the teachers telling you. What is the difference between AP and IB? I want to first say that both of them seem like good programs. I would say that the main difference is that IB is an integrated program of study where you can't just pick 1 or 2 courses to take exams in like you can do in AP. In IB, there are requirements for these 6 subjects you do choose. Each subject has to come from a group. So 1 from group 1, 1 from group 2, 1 from group 3, and so on. So you wouldn't be able to do French and Russian because they're both under Group 2 language acquisition, and you're only supposed to pick one subject from there. You have some room to pick what you want to pick, but you have to make sure that you're meeting these requirements. Whereas in AP, I can just do whatever, totally based on your own choice. I would also say another big difference is for IB, you have to take the class to do the exam, whereas in AP, you don't. You just sign up for the exam. So I know some people who were just self-learning and then just doing the exam in that way. Also, I would say that the IB program has a little bit more emphasis on critical thinking and writing skills for all those IAs and essays that you have to do. I would say that AP isn't very focused on that. It's more content heavy. It's something that you need to have good study habits for. Also in IB, there are additional requirements on top of just the classes, like your EE, TOK, CAS. Also, I would say a big difference between the two is that IB is recognized worldwide. When you're applying as an international student or you're applying to just a different country to study, your IB diploma is something that you can use and that will be recognized. Whereas for AP, it might not be recognized in certain countries. But the general consensus is that the two programs are of roughly equal value and that your final choice and decision should be based on your personal needs, interests, and educational goals. Okay, next question. What is the difference between IB diploma and certificate? That is a very good question. So long story short, the basic separation is that a full diploma student has to take IB courses from each group and also has to complete TOK, CAS, as well as the EE. But students who do the certificate don't do this. They simply pick which courses they want to do, and then they get a certificate for that specific course. But I know a lot of universities, they prefer the full diploma. However, you should always double check and email them to see which one they actually prefer.